welcome to my simple kitchen. I'm Marissa Roberts from beautifulyorganised.com. I believe cooking should be enjoyable but should also fit in with your life. We have a young family, so I can't spend hours in the kitchen. I also have a budget that I need to stick to, and I need to cook food that my family is going to love and that I'm going to enjoy making. So if you like the idea of simplifying your meals and your cooking and enjoying yourself at the same time, stay tuned. Today I needed to find a recipe to use up the rest of our tomato paste, which we used over the weekend. Once you open this one, you have 5 days to use it, and I don't want to waste any of it. So today's recipe will be ham and cheese scrolls with a tomato base. I'm using a simple recipe from the taste.com.au site, so I'll leave a link below and you can check that out if you want to. I'm going to mix it up slightly. The recipe on the website talks about making bacon and cheese scrolls. I'm just going to do a simple ham and cheese scroll, and I'm also going to do cheesy Vegemite ones, just using the same dough base for both of my sets of scrolls. The ingredients I'm using today are self-raising flour, milk, salt, tomato paste, Vegemite, ham, cheese and butter. So the first step is to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. I'm going to use 2 baking trays. I like to use silicone mats, or I just use non-stick trays and don't worry about lining them at all. This recipe will take about 15 minutes to prepare and 20 minutes to cook in the oven. We're going to start off by adding 2 cups of flour, self-raising flour, into our bowl, and then we'll put a teaspoon of salt in there as well. Now the recipe says to sift these in together, but I'd rather just whisk it quickly with a fork. Nice and easy. And then instead of grating the butter like it says in the recipe, I just chop it into smaller pieces and then rub it through the flour and salt with my fingertips. This is the moment where I'm going to say slow down, enjoy yourself, and really take your time. This is the key to enjoying your cooking at home. So you want to run that butter and flour through your fingertips and then add 3/4 of a cup of milk. Mix it all together using the same utensil you whisked with at the beginning so that you have less washing up to worry about. And you want everything to be just combined before you start thinking about the next step, which is kneading the dough. Now at this point, if I was making bread, I'd just do my kneading in the bowl. It keeps the counter a lot cleaner, which means a lot less cleaning up for you afterwards. But for this recipe, because we're going to be rolling out the dough into a big rectangle, I'm going to need my counter space for that anyway, so I'm going to knead this dough on the counter. So on a clean counter, you want to sprinkle some of the self-raising flour, just the extra, onto the counter, and then dump everything out of your bowl. See, it doesn't need to be put together yet. What you're going to do is basically use this kneading motion to get all of those extra bits and pieces together that haven't combined while you were doing your mixing. So if you haven't kneaded anything before, all you have to do is use the heel of your hand to push out and then bring all of the dough back together on top of each other and then repeat. What I like to do is move around the counter too and pick up the stray flour pieces. Next we're going to roll. I like to roll a little bit and then flip over to the other side and then roll a little bit more and then flip it over until eventually I have a much bigger area to work with. Once it's nice and big enough to fit on your oven tray, then we get to do the fun part, which is paint it with Vegemite. I just used a butter knife here to spread that all around, and then on top of that I'm sprinkling some grated cheese. Once that's all done, you want to pinch it down the bottom and give it a little roll. If your counter is floured, it won't stick to the counter. Roll it all up like a nice long sausage, and then once it's all rolled up, you want to cut it in half. Cut each of the halves in half again, and then cut each of those quarter-sized pieces into 3 so that you end up with 12 pieces altogether. They don't need to be exactly even. They're all going to look beautiful and they're going to be pretty similar in size anyway, so they'll cook well. A little bit of flour on your tray to stop sticking, and then you want to take those little pieces, reshape them a little so they're round again if you've squished them when you were cutting them, and then place them on your oven tray. Now it's into the oven for 15 minutes while I get started on the ham and cheese ones. We're doing the exact same thing here, but first I'm going to clean off the countertop. I use a barbecue scraper to get all of those pieces of flour and cheese off, and then on the second batch on the dough we're going to put the tomato paste straight on, add some chopped slices of ham on top of that, and then sprinkle our grated cheese on, and then do the exact same rolling up that we did with the original Vegemite one. You want a nice long sausage, and then you want to cut it into 12 pieces. And then once you've got all of your even pieces, reshape them a little, put them like a beautiful bouquet of flowers on your oven tray, or you can put them separate if you want to. I like to pull apart mine at the end, and then into the oven they go. And that's it, nice and easy. If you like this recipe and you're going to try it yourself at home, give this video a thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment below letting me know how you went. If you have any ideas for future videos, please leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a simple kitchen video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!